All right. So that was what happened last week. And again, this week we're covering Saratoga races 8, 9, and 10. We're going to start out of order because 8 and 9 is going to be the real big handicapping races on our show. But let's just go over what's going to happen at the Whitney. And this is, of course, you've got Cody's Wish, who's going to be a big favorite. Why not? He's been amazing lately. He's got a what? 6 race win streak, something like that. 9 out of 10, something like that. Maybe even better. Coming off a 2. Actually, his last 4 races, 3, 3, 3, 2 on the sheets. It's only a 6 horse field, and you got what? Probably one long shot that has absolutely no chance. So it's really more like a 5-horse field, and that's the reason we just couldn't do this one. But Cody's Wish, there might be a couple of things to keep an eye on as far as a potential upset.
Listen, it's pretty impressive when you look at the racing form or whatever you use, Brisnet, and you look at they give you a list of the horse's last 10 races. So when you look at Cody's Wish's past performances, he's got 9 out of 10 wins
Yeah.
on the page. The only loss is when he lost by a neck at Tampa Bay Downs. But what's interesting is the race that he lost at Tampa was a mile and a 16th.
Yep.
On Saturday, he's being asked to do something he's never done before, and that's run a mile and an eighth. Obviously, he's bred to run it. The interesting thing is that he's never run it, and he's coming off of a big top of a 2. Not a big top because he's run 2s before. Ran a 2 before that. But if he's ever going to get beat, if he's ever going to, obviously, they all get beat. But I think Zandon, the 1 horse, has a shot of upsetting him at a price. You know, he's getting better. He's lightly raced. He missed a lot of the campaign last year. He was out with injuries or whatever. But he ran in the Travers last year here. He got beat. He ran 3rd that day. He ran in the Pennsylvania Derby where he ran 2nd. He's a good horse. Cody's Wish beat him last time by 3 lengths when they faced each other in their last race. But the extra distance may make up the difference here. So if he's somewhat vulnerable, I have no interest in betting betting a 6-horse field with a 1 to 5 in it. But if I was trying to beat him, I would look at the 1 Zandon very seriously.
Yeah, Zandon has 4 5s in his last 6 races, and if you look at the competition, let's remember that he lost to Epicenter twice, and those were races that he ran 5s in, and then lost to Cody's Wish with a 5. So he's gone up against, of course, this is a Triple Crown horse as well, finishing 3rd in the Derby last year. Been in a lot of big races. So, yeah, this is definitely, especially at 5 to 1, and who knows, maybe even wind up with a little bit better than that. Now, White Barrio has 2 6s in his last 2 races, so not as good as Zandon, but White Barrio looks like he's starting to finally come on after, his sheet numbers last year weren't all that great.
Well, Dutro took over the training. Take nothing away from Safi Joseph because he's a great trainer, but they moved the horse to the Richard Dutro barn, and Dutro's been fantastic. He finished his 10-year suspension. He came back. He won his very first race back, and he's back in business now. But this is another one that I don't know if he really wants the mile and an eighth. He ran well last time out around 1 turn at Belmont. The race 2 starts back was at Gulfstream Sprinting. So a 6 may be the best you're going to see out of this horse. Yeah. Where the other horse I just think has more upside to him, Zandon. If I was trying to beat Cody's Wish.
Yeah, the problem is when you take a look at the top contenders, none of them have a good resume at this distance. So that's why you would wish, well, maybe if there was somebody that was 3 for 3 at this distance, and maybe you can really feel like you got something. But yeah, it's not going to be easy, obviously. But Zandon definitely looks like the one that maybe has the best chance. So that's going to be the Whitney, and that'll go off at about 5:45 on Saturday. But first, races 8 and 9 will occur, and we're going to start with race 8 on the show. 7 furlong race, the Grade 1 Test. This is a $500,000 race for Philly 3-year-olds, and the Kentucky Oaks winner is in this race. That's the one, Pretty Mischievous, the 9 to 5 shot. And the other top contenders include, you got Money's Gold at the 7 shot. It's the 7 at 7 to 2. And Maple Leaf Mel is a 2 to 1 shot, the 8 horse, coming off a 6. but maybe that's a situation where we could see a bounce from the 8. So this is a pretty good race. There's some pretty decent horses in the field.
Yeah, it's a good race, and I think the idea in this race is to really try to beat the Maple Leaf Mel.
Yes.
Listen, the horse is 5 for 5. She never
Yeah.
lost, so take nothing away from her, because if she continues on, she's going to win. But you just can't keep improving like that in every single race. It comes an end where they have to go backwards, and I think that's the situation this week for Maple Leaf Mill.
Yeah, she's had 2 consecutive 4-point tops. 14 to 10, 10 to 6. Who knows? Maybe she's got a 2 in her. I doubt it, but again,
no, she's not running a 2.
Yeah.
You look at enough sheets in your life to know that you just stop. So you just can't keep doing it.
Yeah, especially she's going to have less than a month off this time too, after the 6. So if we take a look at some of the other, again, let's start with Pretty Mischievous. She's got a really nice sheet line, 18 all the way down to 9. She ran the 9 in the Acorn, following the Kentucky Oaks. Brendan Walsh is the trainer. Good horse, is also 1 for 1 at this distance.
Yeah, I mean, the horse certainly has a shot. It figures, I got to find the right program. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's the one, Pretty Mischievous.
Yeah.
And the other horse that looks pretty.
By the way, the thing about Pretty Mischievous is that she's only 9 to 5, and she has. I love a horse in the race. If you want to know who it is, I will gladly tell you. I love Money's Gold.
So the 7.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the whole story. The reason why the horse ran a 7 as a 2-year-old first out, which is a huge figure last week. Came out and ran a 4 second start this year, right? And then she bounced off the 4 to a 10, which was coming. Just like I'm not betting that horse Maple Leaf Mel off of the 5.
Yes.
That's why they tried to beat Money's Gold when she ran the 4, and she got beat at Churchill. Anyway, the 13 last time out was a route race, a distance race at Belmont. Obviously, she's a lot better sprinting than routing. She's out of Munnings. Munnings don't go that far. She's back sprinting today. I think that 4 that she ran 3 starts back, you're going to see somewhere near that number. Maybe not a 4, but maybe a 6. And a 6 is going to win the race. And if you really get 7 to 2 on Money's Gold, you should run to the window.
I like that one, especially because she's the 3rd choice right now in the field. And
exactly.
That makes a lot of. You got the Pletcher, I read Ortiz combo.
And by the way, she also gets 6 pounds from the 1 horse. She's carrying 118. The 1 carries 124. And she gets 2 pounds from the bottom horse, Maple Leaf. So she's getting weight from the main competition in here as well.
All right, that sounds like a good one. Other contenders include Darth Vader, the 6 to 1 shot. Velazquez on board. Second time for George Weaver, taking over for Michael Yates. The sheet line was really nice last year, and now even really nice this year, as far as going in the right direction. And this year, a little bit better. 13, 13, 12, and 10 last 4. So Darth Vader heading in the right direction. Again, but like you mentioned, does not have a single-digit sheet or even 2 like Money's Gold. But you are getting 6 to 1.
By the way, if you recall, this was my selection in the Kentucky Oaks, and everyone was laughing at me. She went off 30 to 1 that day. She actually ran a good number at 12. Obviously not as good as the winner. I guess Pretty Mischievous did beat her in the Kentucky Oaks. But today Darth Vader does have an opportunity to possibly turn the tables on Pretty Mischievous, especially at 6 to 1.
Yes, and this horse has just gotten better and better with that runner-up finish last time out, like you said, to go from 30 to 1 to 6 to 1 in just a couple of starts. A few other horses to bring up as potential long shots. Clearly Unhinged, the 2, has 2 10s out of 3 races. What about that line?
Well, a 10 is okay. The only problem is that a 10's not going to do it for you. Let's be honest. If Money's Gold is going to run that 6 or 7 that I'm hoping that she runs, so what is a 10 going to do for you? So I don't really like her. I think, she's got a shot at, if you want to use a horse at 12 to 1, for the odds, you certainly can. She also gets weight, and she's also coming off of Lasix. So the problem with for me was that she was coming off of Lasix. But again, at 12 to 1, I could see you making a case. She's a point away from the one, and she's 10 times the price.
Yeah, I mean, if we're trying to, like, let's say we go with Money's
Yeah.
Gold, if we're looking for a nice exacta payout, 2 is not the worst idea in the world. You also have, speaking of tens, the 4 Jersey Pearl has back-to-back tens, and they were both wins.
They were at Ellis and Churchill, so
Okay.
I like Clearly Unhinged better personally. But
as far as long shots, okay.
Yeah.
Interpolate has Brown and Pratt combo. It took a step back last race. That's unfortunate because the 3 races before that, 22, 14, and 11, was headed in the right direction, but that 15 went the opposite way. If you can excuse that for some reason, then who knows? That's when you have Pratt and Brown as a long shot, you don't ever want to discount them.
The 1, the 2, the Pretty Mischievous, Clearly Unhinged.
Even, you got to have one long shot.
Consistent fast numbers. This horse you're hoping to maybe go back to. No. You got to do better than that.
All right. So the 7, are you looking at 7 with the 2 and?
I'm putting the 7 over the 1, 2, and 7 over the 1, 2. I guess you could use the 8 for second. I wouldn't put her on top. I like 7 over 1, 2, 8.
1, 2, and
8.
All right. I like that. Let's now talk about race number 9. And this will also make it pretty good for a double if we get some good odds on Money's Gold. So keep that in mind. And this is a longer race, 1 mile and 3/16. It's also a turf race. The Saratoga Derby Invitational, 600,000, even more in this one. This will go off about 5 o'clock on Saturday. And another good wagering race. We'll start with the 1, Mondego. Rosario Clement combo. The sheet line is pretty nice. 16, 14, 14, and 12. So headed in the right direction. I just don't like the odds at 5 to 1.
No, but he's similar to other horses in the race. He's okay. He's on the bubble. Whether I would use him or not, it would depend on the odds. I would like him to go up a bigger price. I agree with you. 5 to 1, I think you have better options in the race.
Program trading, same situation. You got 2 12s, which is impressive. 2 wins to start your career. You got Pratt, you got Brown, but you only have 7 to 2.
Yeah, listen, he's lightly raced, only 2 starts. He's short on experience, but certainly he's 2 for 2, so he hasn't done anything wrong. And Chad Brown decides to run him in this spot.
The 3 has no chance.
The 3 is slow. He would have to improve. He ran a 14. The 1 and 2 we were talking about both run 12s.
Same for the 4?
Same for the 4, but he's a European Invader making his first start here. So, the European Invaders sometimes run better when they get to this country than they did over there for whatever reason. Yeah. But again, he would have to take a big step forward.
The favorite of the race is the 5, Far Bridge. You got Ortiz and Pletcher combining in this one. The sheet line is real nice. Started the career with a 12, then went 15, 13, 12, and 11.
Yeah, listen, he's fine, but he's not better than the 6. The next horse coming up, I don't think.
Doesn't have a sheet line better.
That's the good thing about Farbridge is you're right. He's done nothing wrong, but the bad thing is he's 2 to 1.
Yeah, so. Another one that we can try to beat, and that's like you said with Webslinger. And I believe we might have had this horse.
We had this horse 3 starts back at Churchill when he won.
Yeah, there you go. Now I remember that. So hey, let's go back to him because if you look at the sheets, we ran to 10 in that race. Went to a 13 after that. Came right back to a 10. So yeah, we've got 2 10s with the 6 at 4 to 1. The 5, the Far Bridge, the 2 to 1 shot hasn't seen a 10, and none of these horses have seen a 10 yet that we've talked about.
That's
and
true.
Webslinger's got 2 of them.
Exactly, 2 out of his last 3.
Yeah. The 7 would be a long shot that you might consider because the sheet line is actually not bad for a long shot. 20. First race, all the way down to a 13. So this horse has improved just about every race. Runner-up the last couple, ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf race, finished 5th. So I don't think this is a bad long shot to try to make money in your exactas and trifectas.
This horse has what we call NWB. which stands for never went backwards.
Ah,
Every race in his career is better than the previous one. Not only that, the timing into the race is really good. It looks like they were pointing for this race. They freshened him up after his last start at Pimlico. McGahe's looking for his first win at the meet. His barn has not had a winner yet, but listen, he's a Hall of Fame trainer for a reason, so I would expect him to have a winner shortly. That being said, he could certainly make a forward move, and I'm going to use this horse in my exact
yes.
hookups for sure.
Agreed. And now here's another one of the imports that is a little bit better on the sheets than the other ones we talked about. Lion of War. At least you're still getting 8-1. We have 13 and 14. It's all the sheets we have the last two races. But again, if you get 8-1 and you want to put an import in this race, I guess this would be the horse.
Yeah, listen, he had trouble in his last start. By the way, this is why I really miss Chad, because he's got the right read on these European horses.
Yep.
He just knows which ones are running in the right circuits. He just has a good feel for those horses, and unfortunately, we don't have him. Actually, the next time he doesn't come, we should find out who he likes anyway. Just
Well, that's why I'd like to get him on Discord.
Yeah. Anyway, he knows about the European invaders, and he knows who they've been running against, and he knows which are the real ones and which are the fake ones, so to speak. Not that they're fake, but he knows. He just has a good feel for it, and he has a good opinion on those horses.
All right, and then the 9. Let's not forget about the 9. Truly Quality. I read Ortiz is on board. And coming off a win last time out, ran a 10. So, yes, you definitely expect a bounce, but at least we're talking about a 12-1 shot.
And you're also talking about a horse whose first two starts in this country with the slow races had trouble in both of those races. You see the T on the sheets
yes.
for the 17. You see the big T on the 15. So who knows how much trouble that really was. I'm going to go back and watch the replay. But certainly you have to respect the horse off the 10. The knock is he's coming off a Lasix, but I don't care. Listen, other horses in the races are coming off a Lasix, but like you said, this horse is 12-1.
Yeah.
You get Irad, and you're getting a horse that ran the last fastest number coming in. How many horses have 10s coming in?
That's
not
right.
The 5, who's 2-1, not the 2,
nope.
who's 7-2.
Just web slinger.
Yeah, exactly. So why not, though? But I understand. I'm king web slinger, but I listen. I was actually between king the 6 and 9. I just went to the 6 because I think he has more of a solid
yes.
line. He has more than one number. He has 2 10s. I understand he's half the price of the 9, but so what?
I actually, I like the idea of going 6, 7, 8, 9 in this race.
Well, you could do it. Nothing wrong with it.
With the 6 on top, though. With the 6 on top.
Yeah. Well, you could use them first and second.
What do you like?
I like the 6. I'm putting them in exact as over. But the 2, the 5, and the 9. 6 over 2, 5, 9.
All right. So John.
Whoa! How could I leave the 7 out? I take that back. 6 over the 5, 7, 9. How's that?
There you go. So you'll go 6 over the 5. Well, there you go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, with the 5. You're going the 5 instead of the 8. Okay. So I'll go 6, 7, 8, 9 with the 6 on top. So we're pretty similar there. And again, John went with in the test stakes, the grade 1 test, 7 over 1, 2, and 8. So we've got 3 grade 1s on the show today. Hopefully, Chad will be back with us again next week. And speaking of next week and taking a look at the calendar, you do have, what's CNL?
Colonial Downs.
Okay. I don't think we've ever done Colonial Downs, have we?
Well, they only used to run on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Then Churchill Towns bought them this year. They took over the track, and they decided that they're going to be really smart, and they're going to run against Saratoga and against Del Mar. Not too smart. They should have kept it. They should have kept the race days as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because Saratoga and Del Mar are both dark during those days, and people would bet that track, and they'd get a terrific handle. Now, not so much, because they thought they were smarter than the rest of the world.
And they also have the Arlington Million that day.
Yes, they do.
So the Arlington Million and the Beverly D, that's a Breeders' Cup race. That's a Colonial. They also have the Grade 2 Secretariat. Del Mar has the Grade 3 Sorrento. and the Grade 2 Yellow Ribbon. Hopefully, they have more than 5 horses. And Saratoga, we might go right back to Saratoga. They have the Grade 1 4-star Dave. That's probably the race of the week, along with the Saratoga Special. That's a Grade 2. So
Well, the Saratoga Special, they'll probably have a lot, well, a bigger field for sure. I mean, it's for 2-year-olds, and it's an important race. The 4-star Dave, hopefully there won't be 4 Chad Browns and another horse. It's a turf race. They run it every year, and hopefully they'll attract a big field.
I hope so. That's next week. Again, we'll keep our fingers crossed that Chad will be able to make it. If not, well, either way, best of luck out there. Jon, appreciate it as always, and we'll
Thank you,
talk to
Greg.
you soon.
Talk to you soon. Stay safe and be well, my friend.